dudes, Demo Donna here, and it is that time again for your technique of the week. I am going to show you how to do some tips and tricks with using the pearlescent watercolors and the water brush. If you do not have one of these guys, it is time to pick one up. They're awesome. You just simply screw off the top, just give it a little squeeze, stick it in a cup of water, let go, and the water is soaked right up into this vial. So you can now take that on the go and you don't have to worry about a mess. No mess, no fress. I don't know. So I hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section. If you want to say some awesome things, go ahead and do that too. I love reading all the things you guys write. So thanks for watching. Okay, so I am going to take my pearlescent watercolors right here, and a really cool trick that I learned at CHA is taking your mini mister and just simply spritzing over your whole set, which is just brilliant because obviously that activates all of your dry compressed powders at the same time. So even though you're just using a couple of colors, that gets everything ready to go. And then when you take your water brush and you go in and activate a color, it's already pre-warmed up. So that's just awesome. And then when you're doing just one or two colors, you can simply take your brush and then squeeze out a drop of color, a drop of water of color, a drop of water, and then that continues to activate the color. So that's pretty much how you get your watercolors going. They come as like a little dry patty. So you need your water to activate your watercolors. All right, so I am going to take my awesome butterfly stamp set, which is this guy here, and it's Fancy Butterflies by one of our designers, Jill Jacobson. So thank you, Jill. Love this set. And I'm going to be taking this guy here, and I already stamped it out on with StazOn. You need to use a permanent ink. So StazOn is great because when I use watercolors, it's not going to bleed. If you go ahead and use a dye ink, your dye ink is going to be running all over your cardstock. You can also use watercolor paper, whatever you like. I just use cardstock because it's what I have handy. And then most importantly, when you purchase a StazOn pad, you want to use your reinker. Because it's a permanent ink, it dries really fast. So I personally re-ink my StazOn every time, especially if I haven't used it in a couple days, I re-ink it. So I obviously don't re-ink it if I'm stamping a whole bunch that day, but if I haven't used it in a couple days, just throw your re-inker over your pad and you're good to go. And you can get a nice solid stamped out black image like this here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my water brush, and I am just simply going to dip into my purple here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color, just like this. And you can just wipe your brush off. I just treat my water brush like a regular paintbrush dipped into water. So you don't have to overthink it. It's pretty much just an extension of your paintbrush. And then I'm going to dip it into the pink. It's a little dry, so I'm going to just squeeze a little drip of water in it. And then go ahead and I'm going to blend my colors. So it's really simple to go and add a really beautiful hint of color. You can obviously pick up a lot of the color if you want it to be a little bit lighter. The colors blend really nicely together. And you can also do really dark images like this one here. So I went really heavy on the watercoloring, and it kind of made my stamp a little harder to see the detail. So what you can do with something like this, if you want really dark color, so you can take your glue pen, and I'm just going to go over the black body of my butterfly, and I am going to just freehand I'm kind of tracing, but not really. Some of the detail in my stamp design. And then I am going to simply take my black ice glitter and by the way, between doing this, so after you apply your watercolors and you go and you do this technique, you can just simply take your heat tool to just touch up and quickly dry your watercolor. You don't have to put the heat tool on it to set it, but just to simply speed dry your watercolor. So that is a really simple way to add your pearlescent watercolors to a stamp design. You can also create your own glitter paper. So what I did here was I took my Terrific tape or the Terrific sheets and put that over a piece of cardstock and then stamped and heat embossed this image with black embossing powder and the Versamark pad. So then the really cool thing when you have a stamp design on your glitter paper is you can then watercolor on it. So a lot of people do this technique with your Copic markers, which is really fun, but you can also do the same technique with watercolors. So if you haven't quite gotten into using the alcohol markers, or you don't want to put your alcohol markers on your glitter paper, you can go ahead and invest in this set, which is pretty much the same cost as one marker, and create this really beautiful technique. So I squeezed a little bit of water into my blue over here to activate the color, and then I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of my blue, and then I'm going to rinse off my brush and then just blend the colors. So really easy, and like I tell everybody at the expos, my schooling in watercolor happened in kindergarten. So everything I know about watercoloring, I pretty much learned in kindergarten. So if you're a little uncomfortable with using watercolors, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. The best part about doing it on glitter paper with your microfine glitter, if you go out of the lines, just rinse your brush and pick up the color. It's like magic paper. So there is a really cool technique on the glitter paper. And then last but not least is making your own backgrounds. So here I made two separate background papers. One is on black cardstock and the other is on white cardstock. So you can really see how beautiful and shimmery all of the pearlescent watercolors are. So thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week.